Hello, welcome to another edition of 5-Minute FRQ, where I take you through an old FRQ on the AP Bio exam in 5 minutes or less. As always, this information is freely available on the College Board's AP Bio website, so if you have any questions, you can look it up there. Alright, this is question 6 on the 2015 AP exam. In an attempt to rescue a small isolated population of snakes from decline, a few male snakes from several larger populations of the same species were introduced into the population in 1992. The snakes reproduce sexually, and there are abundant resources in the environment. The figure below shows the results of a study of the snake population both before and after the introduction of the outside males. In the study, the numbers of captured snakes indicate the overall population size. And I'm giving a bar graph here where I see numbers of snakes. The light gray bars show the total number of snakes that are captured, and the darker bars are the number of juvenile snakes. Juvenile snakes obviously are baby snakes, and when you have reduced or no baby snakes, the population is not reproducing, so it's an unhealthy population. This is a classic sort of question on genetic variation. Populations that lack genetic variation tend to be less robust. They tend to be susceptible to threats like diseases or other environmental factors. And they tend to have a problem with the viability of their offspring, where more of their offspring are not surviving. And you can see in this graph that that's what's going on. If you look in 1993, I don't have any juvenile snakes, so clearly this population is under some kind of stress. All right, part A. Describe one characteristic of the original population that may have led to the population's decline in size between 1998 or 1989 and 1993. Part B. Propose one reason that the introduction of the outside males rescued the snake population from decline. And part C. Describe how the data support the statement that there are abundant resources in the environment. This is a very simple question. If you look at the rubric, one characteristic of the original population that may have led to its decline, you can see what the rubric took. You can just say they lack genetic variation. The second point was an aged or post-reproductive population, not enough young snakes. Maybe the population is just getting too old where they can't reproduce. The third thing had an unfavorable sex ratio or just not enough males. And lastly, possessed a harmful mutation or disease. Really, the only thing that you honestly can't say is anything that is environmental in nature. The question tells me that that there are abundant resources in the environment. So you can't say something like a drought or a famine. It has to be something that's about the snakes that's causing the decline. Part B, propose one reason that the introduction of the outside males rescued the population. So if you have more males, they're going to reproduce more. You could say something as simple as you increase the genetic diversity just by introducing more snakes. Increased reproductive success, they were having offspring. A beneficial sex ratio, or having more males. Or if you'd mentioned in the previous question or the previous part that there was a disease or a mutation, you could say that the new snakes introduced resistance. Lastly, part C, describe how the data support the statement that there are abundant resources. So if there weren't abundant resources, then adding the new snakes wouldn't make a difference. The fact that the population does grow means that there's room for growth. So you know that nature is not what's pushing the population down. It's something about the snakes themselves. So the fact that the population does grow shows that there are abundant resources. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys next time.